Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes. Here we go. We are live. Light up those pumpkins, everybody, because it's Monday night and we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this first of fall, autumn equinox ceremony that you just stumbled into the middle of is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our somewhat weekly-ish gathering, general Geek Fest, all around celebration of all things Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise. So if you're new, welcome. I hope you hang out, subscribe, become a channel member, all that good stuff. And to everybody else, all of our returning friends, what is up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday. It is great to see you guys. Thank you for joining at, once again, our early start time here of 8:31 p.m., a little bit earlier than our traditional start time of 10:31 p.m. So I appreciate you coming out a little bit earlier in the evening for us tonight. Already seeing a lot of friends in the live chat lighting it up, firing up those pumpkins. So I appreciate y'all being here. Of course, super chats enabled, channel memberships, all that good stuff. Become a part of the conversation. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Officially the first day of fall on the calendar. So here's to that. It's our time. If ever there was a time for us, it is certainly now. It is Monday, and that means Michael Myers Monday. So I think we got a fun one for you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, I'm going to check into the live chat right now and say what's up, David, Teen Wolf, Megan, checking in early. There's Phil in the house, City Kitty as well. What's up? Barf in the house. What's up, Jason? Who was that? I think I missed one. The Vibe Vault. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you all. Thank you for being here. I love to see it. Like I said, it is officially the first day of fall, so we're celebrating that. And like I always say, if it's Monday night, that means you survived another Monday. It means you survived at least another week. In our case, it's been about a month since our last live broadcast on a Monday night. So you survived another month, give or take, and another Monday on top of that. So that in itself is worth celebrating. So here's to you guys. We're celebrating Michael Myers, but we're also celebrating all of you guys. So thank you once again for being here. Teen Wolf in the house. What's up? David Suber firing up the pumpkins. Love it. Barf loves the early start time. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's worked out well for the schedule here lately, and I do think we're bringing in a little bit of new blood now and then as well. But whether you love it or hate it or anything in between, let me hear what you think about the slightly earlier start time here on these last few broadcasts of 8:31 p.m. I'm sipping on my warm tea here this evening, trying to keep my throat nice and good so I can talk to you guys. We are neck deep in our Halloween Film Festival. It is less than 2 weeks away. It's happening October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here on the Outer Banks, North Carolina, at an historic theater called the Pioneer Theater. We've got 6 amazing feature films, over 20 shorts, lots of special guest filmmakers coming in. We got the world premiere of a Screen Life film called Group Chat. It's from the UK, and we've got director Dan Brownlee and his producer Mel Morley. They're both going to be here for us for that world premiere. Here, I'm going to put up the official artwork so you can check it out as I'm telling you just a little bit about what we're going to be screening, because tickets are on sale right now. And you can find all that information in the description and also at HalloweenDailyNews.com anytime. Here's the official artwork. On opening night, Thursday night, we close out with the new horror comedy Shell, starring Kate Moss, or not Kate Moss, Elizabeth Moss and Kate Hudson. You see what we did there. It's pretty awesome. You got to check that out. It's been described as the Stepford Wives meets The Substance. So we're going to get that a night early before it becomes available anywhere else. On night 2, Friday, we have the North Carolina premieres of the horror comedy Haunted House of Pancakes. And then our closer on Friday night is Haunt Season Uncensored, both with directors in attendance for Q&As following, and lots of awesome shorts along the way as well. On our final day, day 3, Saturday, October 4th, we're screening Curse of Crom 2 from director Rob York. It is loaded with Halloween atmosphere and a great kind of PG-13 fantasy fun film that harkens back to kind of the 80s Spielberg type films. And then our closing film Saturday night, October 4th, is the North Carolina premiere of Devour. And this film, you guys are not ready for this. It is so just over the top with gore and monsters, and not just any monsters, amazing practical effects monsters, an insane werewolf transformation that I'm telling you, it is right up there with American Werewolf in London. So, and we've got director Scott Hansen, his wife and producer Desiree. They're going to be there with us, as well as J. Gavin Wild, who you know from Halloween Kills and The Black Phone and The Righteous Gemstones, and other cast members as well from Devour. They're all going to be there Saturday night. So, jam-packed weekend. If you're anywhere here on the East Coast, try to come see us one, if not all 3 nights. And again, tickets are on sale right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. You can see the whole schedule there. And that's just the features I just mentioned. We got a ton of great shorts and many special guests coming along with those as well. All set on the Outer Banks, where the town of Manio is becoming a Halloween island for the entire month of October, kicking off with our event. So that means 13 bars, all done up as Halloween-themed pop-ups. So lots going on. Again, full details at HalloweenDailyNews.com, or just look for the Halloween Film Festival on Facebook or your social media platform of choice. And of course, our Triple M 15% discount for you guys at our online store. Everything currently in stock at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. Just use code MMM15. That's Triple M15, and get 15% off. There you go. All right. So we do have some news bites that I'm going to share with you guys. Some small little news bites, and then our main meal of the evening, if you will, is going to be a number of updates. Actually, a number of really cool updates on the Halloween video game that we're going to get into, including who exactly is portraying the Shape along with the legendary Nick Castle. We're going to get into that. And of course, we'll do some shout outs near the end of the program as well. And maybe a flashback video thrown in somewhere along the way as well. So that's what you got to look forward to. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. I see one of our illustrious channel members has checked in, the great Brett Patrick in the house. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you, sir. It's great to see everybody. Again, channel membership's just $5 a month, and it goes a long way in supporting everything we do here at Halloween Daily News. And you get early access to our interviews and lots of pre-recorded content and other cool perks. Like that Michael Myers emoji that you see Brett using, or those pumpkin emojis. You can get those when you become a channel member here. Halloween Daily Club channel member. Yes, sir. David says the film festival sounds like a blast. It's going to be epic for sure. You should definitely try to come. It's going to be great. And everything in this town, all 13 of these bars and everything that's going on at the same time as our film festival, it's all in walking distance too. And it's even a social district where it's legal to like buy a drink or food or whatever and just take a walk around, walk into another place. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, hope to see y'all. All right. Let's get into our first news bite of the evening. All right. Here we go. So you might have seen this already, but we have not talked about it here, and it shouldn't come as a surprise, but Halloween is back in theaters for October 2025, along with Halloween 4 and 5. And again, this shouldn't come as a huge surprise. This has really become pretty much an annual tradition in recent years, really in the past decade or so, for the original Halloween to be re-released and play in select theaters all around the country. And in more recent years, they started adding Halloween 4 and 5 into that as well. So it's a great event, especially if you're a fan of 4 and 5 in particular. But for anybody to get to see the original on the big screen, it's always super exciting. And our friends over at Blade Disgusting, in their article, they actually have some new quotes on the 2025 re-release of Halloween 78, as well as Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. They will be appearing in more than 80 markets and nearly 400 showings, with new shows being added each day. And they're urging everybody to check your local listings for where it is playing near you. They have a new quote from Malik Akkad himself, CEO of Trancas International Films. He says, quote, "Seeing Halloween in theaters is unlike anything else. It's the way the film was intended to be experienced. For many families and fans, revisiting Halloween in theaters has become a seasonal tradition, an annual chance to share the suspense, the dread, and the terror of Michael Myers on the big screen. We're proud to once again partner with Cinelife Entertainment to bring not just Halloween, but also Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 to audiences everywhere," in quote. And they also have a quote here from Bernadette McCabe, who is executive vice president at Cinelife Entertainment. She says, quote, Halloween is more than just a film. It is an experience that has become part of how people celebrate the season. We're thrilled to bring these classics back to theaters so both longtime fans and first-time viewers can share in the excitement, the scares, and the fun of spending October with Michael Myers. End quote. So there you go. Halloween 1978 as well as the 1988 sequel, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and its direct sequel, the 1989 Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Back in theaters, almost 400 showings, according to the article that we're looking at over at Play Disgusting right now. Again, you can go to CineLife and CineLife's website and see where the film is showing. This article actually says to check your local listings. You'll remember they even re-released it during all the lockdown and everything, and put it out in a bunch of drive-ins during that time, which I thought was extra cool. But so awesome that it has become an annual tradition for families, for fans, for just moviegoers, that you can each October somewhere nearby find the original, the classic John Carpenter's Halloween in theaters, and two of the best sequels, two of the most popular sequels for sure. So that, of course, begs the question: are you going to see Halloween 78 in theaters this year, October 2025? Are you going to see part 4 and 5 this year? And I want to know further, for everybody in the live chat right now and everybody in the comments watching this later, I want to know how many times you have watched the original Halloween on the big screen in a theater. Are you old enough to have seen it upon its initial release back in 78? Which re-releases have you seen it? How many times? I'd love to hear from you guys on this. And we will put that direct link. I'll add that after we're done here. That direct link to the CineLife website where you can get a hold of your tickets and see where the classic is playing in your area. What's up, Tim? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, you got to check. They are adding new dates. It says on the Buddy Disgusting article. Brett says Halloween 2 is going to be at Regal Theaters. Awesome. And that's the only one you've never seen on the big screen. Wow. That's so cool, man. That's great. David Suber saw 4 and 5 in theater back in the day on their original release. Very nice, sir. Excellent. Haha, Phil says, love the shirt, Matt. Thank you, sir. All right, well, since you mentioned it, let me rock it, because this is one of my favorites too. It's got so much going on. You know, I love my H2 to begin with. Speaking of, it's got so much going on this one. Dick Warlock over here. You know, I love the slash with a little bit of my skull pumpkin, poster pumpkin, the iconic poster pumpkin. It's got a little bit of everything. A lot of Michael though, like that. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Al says, seeing Halloween 1 and 2 and 4 October 31st in the theater. Very cool. Oh, man. Now, that's a good triple feature right there. Right there. I don't know why I'm talking like a cowboy all of a sudden, but all right. New merch. There is never an end to the new Michael Myers merch reveals. There's always more coming, and we have yet more to look at. New for 2025, believe it or not. And this is pretty insane. You know, we talked before here about how Michael Myers and our favorite horror icons have arrived at Five Below stores. Um, I've gotten a shirt from there. I've gotten figures from there. I've gotten an ornament from there. I've gotten all kinds of Michael Myers merch from our Area Five Below store. And now they have a new figure that they are calling the world's smallest. These are micro figures, and they've got Hellboy, they've got Chucky, and they've got Michael Myers from, speaking of, Halloween 2. And if any of you are old enough to remember Micro Machines, they were like these really tiny versions of like Hot Wheels cars back in the day when I was a kid. This kind of reminds me of those. But let's take a closer look here at the Michael Myers Halloween 2 micro figure. This is insane. Um, he is only 1.25 inch tall. But there you can see he comes with the H2 card back, and he comes with a knife accessory even. And according to the website, we'll go back over here, but according to the website, yeah, it includes one figure, one knife, one mini display case, and stand. So even a mini display case and stand. And here's the collection again. And I did put the link of where you can order these from the Five Below website while they last. There they are, unboxed. And you can see just to scale, they've got Chucky on his stand on a quarter. But that's the stand they come with. So Michael Myers, micro figures available now from Five Below and from fivebelow.com. I did put a link of where you can get yours in the description of this video. And obviously they're only $5 each. So I'll have to get one of those for sure. Just insane how tiny. I mean, 1.25 inch. How many of you, I know some of you watching already own the Five Below Micro Myers? But that's not all in the merch department. Check this out. We have another new Michael Myers collectible figure to keep an eye out for. As you can see here, this is the Michael Myers U2's vinyl figure. And this is a new line of collectibles. And they're stylized collectibles. We'll enlarge the photo here and get a good look at him. He's got kind of the sort of the gemmy cartoon Michael Myers face that I called the or the Charlie Brown Michael Myers face when they were putting him on the inflatables like that. Not quite like that, but a little bit of that. Obviously, not aiming for proportion. It's cartoon Michael. That's what I'd call it, cartoon Michael. But look, got the blood splatter, got the bullet holes. Can we even count? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's actually got 6 bullet holes. Yeah, there's one on each shoulder. There's like, yeah, 2 on his left side of his chest and 2 others on his right side of his chest. All right, so bullet hole accurate H2 U2's Michael Myers. And yeah, there's some of the bullet holes coming through his back right there. 3 of them anyway. Very cool. Got the popped collar. I like that. And again, not everybody will like the cartoonish look of the mask. Oh, I just noticed they've actually got the H1 opening credits pumpkin silhouetted in the background of the card. Look at that. I thought this was H2 because he's shot and everything, but apparently it's not H2. It's Halloween 78. I was mistaken. I figured with the bullet holes and the blood splatter, but again, H2. Most of the collectibles here lately have been with the blood tears. So I should have known that being a giveaway. But this is actually licensed from Halloween 78, not Halloween 2. So, and they've got other horror figures as well, part of this U2's collection. And they are retailing for $30. Pre-orders are up right now. I put the link to Entertainment Earth in the description here where you can pre-order, and they are estimated to be shipping in February of 2026. And these U2's figures, this Michael Myers is 4.9 inches tall. Probably going to have to add him to my personal collection on the collector's shelf as well. What do you guys think? Super says should be 7. Yes, yeah. Well, if it's an H2 figure, it should be for sure. But hey, they actually got it right because it's H78, I guess. I don't know. Barf says it looks like that Michael took extra time on his hair. That's funny. Jason says the U2s looks pretty detailed. Yeah, I mean it looks good from what I can see. Um, Again, I have to see it in person, but yeah, I don't think the minis are very detailed. I don't think that's the point of that. Again, it's just the novelty of it, really. Brett says the H2 mini snow globe from Five Below is really nice. I've not seen that yet. Oh yeah, Barf says Trick or Treat is playing at Regal Cinemas October 14th and 16th. Yes, yes, we did share that on our site throughout socials, and I'll have an article up about the Halloween re-release as well. Just been swamped in recent days with our film festival and a lot of behind the scenes work happening there. All right, before we get into our main discussion and big multiple news updates this evening, that being the Halloween video game, of course, I'm going to do a quick flashback video for you guys. And I thought with the re-release and first day of fall and it being our time, Michael's time. I thought it only fitting to do a flashback, something to do with the original Halloween. Also, yesterday is great Nick Castle's birthday, that as well. So, what we have here is a flashback to H45, that magical event that many of you were at with us. And this is a clip. I think it's probably about 7 or 8 minutes long. And this is a clip from the Halloween '78 panel. And this is cast members from the classic film talking about their reactions to seeing the original Halloween themselves for the very first time. Check this out. And then when we come back, we're going to dive into all the latest news and updates on the Halloween video game.
What was your impression of the film the first time you saw it?
Me?
What was your impression of the film the first time you saw it?
Well, the interesting thing was, unlike everybody else there, I didn't have the full script. So I didn't know the full script. I didn't know that my brother here was going to grow up to be a big masked man and kill everybody. So when I got to our little premiere and saw the film, it scared the hell out of me. So yeah, it was very exciting to see it. It was very scary, and to me it was a total surprise because I had not seen the script. I'd never seen the mask or any of that. So yeah, it was an interesting evening.
Now, Will, can you still do the face?
The face from you mean from that scene?
The face.
Yeah, I guess. He just said, make a blank look, don't look at the camera, and...
There it is. Unforgettable. John, did you have an impression of the film the first time you saw it?
Yeah, I think I've said this a few times, but I thought it was going to be a terrible movie. Because when I was on the set, we filmed the murder scene, and I don't know, I guess I was expecting it to be a big Hollywood film. I don't know why I would think that, but I did. And so, me standing on a box and going like that just felt like, okay. And I've told everybody this, holding the knife under my arm. It's not even attached into anything in my chest. I'm holding it under my arm, praying that I'm not gonna let the knife drop during a take so that I'd screw it up. So, I just thought, well, this is probably gonna be a bad film and it'll play in drive-ins or something, which happened then. And it would go away. And so this was a shock when I saw the film and thought, this is a decent film. This is a good film. And as we've said, I think all of us a billion times, the music in the film makes all the difference in the world. And and at the time, the music was a little bit different, something that most people weren't used to. So the whole thing added a great thing to the film. So it was a great experience and quite a shock to me. Still quite a shock to me that this film is a great film. Yeah.
I'd love to know what your impression was of the first viewing of the movie.
Well, I'm had a similar experience to you, John, because I remember at the wrap party, we were all joking around. I don't know if you guys remember this. We were all joking around saying, you know what, we're gonna be here and it's gonna be Halloween 20. And we were joking about it, right? Wouldn't it be, because I guess we were really just so glad that the film was finished at that point. So we were just joking about it and laughing about it. And then when I saw the rough cut, I was really worried. I thought, this movie's kind of flat. I didn't know that much about filmmaking, you know. And then I went to the premiere, and I was terrified. I was horrified, and at the same time, I was so thrilled that it was so scary and really good, and it was because of the soundtrack. I felt like the merging of of the picture and the sound was just astonishing. So it was a lesson for me as a neophyte in the movie business. But I still am not very good at reading a script on the page and imagining the whole thing. So I still have trouble with that, whether it's a play or a movie. So, but anyway, that was my experience.
Yeah, from the script, I don't think you could tell, really. But at that point in my career, I was most interested in hoping that I would do a good job as an actress and wanted to bring something special to the role. So I put in a few more totalies. But when we did see the first cast and crew screening, I just remember being completely tickled, first of all, at the opening credits with the pumpkin. I thought that was really amazing. And then hearing the music, it just was spine tingling. And I just thought, wow, this is really something. And it made me happy because I really liked John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and I thought they were such a good team. And I thought, wow, they really put together this very magical movie. But no way did I ever think, wow, this was gonna 5 years, so, but I'm glad it did, and I'm glad you all still appreciate it and find the magic in it that we felt when we were making it, and obviously it was real.
I don't remember the first time I saw it. Where was the cast and crew screening?
Yeah.
Was that the director's?
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't make much of an impression on me, obviously. I can't remember seeing it. The first time, I remember reacting to it. I went, the first week it came out, and I went to a screening of the movies in Hollywood just to see how it was playing, and people were, you know, getting scared. And so I called John up and said, "Hey, John, the movie's working." Well, that was what I remember doing. And, you know, at the time, I kept thinking, you know, oh, this is clever, Halloween, a movie about called Halloween, on Halloween, a murder on Halloween, all that stuff I thought was clever. Babysitters. So I was, you know, you're a friend of the creators, both John, Deborah, and Tommy Lee Wallace, we haven't mentioned yet, who found and created The Mask and was the production designer and co-editor. All these people are close friends of mine, and so you're just hoping against hope that it'll, you know, take them another step towards a career, a real career. And look what happened. That was great.
What did you think of your performance the first time you saw it? Did you think, oh, that's me, or did you really get into that was the shape?
I thought it was either me or Marlon Brando. I can't remember what I thought. No, I don't remember exactly. I've seen, you know, it's funny, I've seen it since, obviously. Every once in a while I go, let's see. But, you know, I just remember every time I jumped out of the shadows. So nothing was ever scary for me. And I always felt like it was, you know, who made those scares wasn't Nick Castle. It was really the characterization of that Tommy and everyone came up with, and John, you know, knowing when to pop out of the shadows at the right time. So it's hard to, you know, separate that from my performance.
Oh, yes, good times, good memories, magical moments, and he is back. That's right. All right, we are back live. It is Michael Myers, Monday, September 22nd, 2025. We are live coming at you out of Haddonfield. Thank you, Barf. There's lots more where that came from. If you haven't watched it, there's more from that panel in our Halloween 45 playlist and highlights from many other panels from that amazing weekend. So check that out elsewhere here on the channel in the Halloween 45 Years of Terror playlist. Like I said, we are coming to you live to Haddonfield, broadcasting to Haddonfield from Haddonfield. And I don't need to tell you guys this. Regular viewers know, regular subscribers to Halloween Daily News know this well. But the biggest news to come out of Haddonfield in 2025, at least so far, going into October 2025, has got to be the long-awaited, much-anticipated Halloween video game that has been announced for a 2026 release. And we have been covering it here at Halloween Daily News, and we've got actually quite a bit of exciting updates that have come to light in the last few weeks since our last video update on the video game. So I'm excited to talk to you about each of those. When last we left off, we were talking about the great news that the legendary Nick Castle is back playing Michael Myers in the game, doing motion capture for a lot of Michael Myers movements, iconic movements, of course, and we also dove in and looked at a lot of comments that Halloween franchise producer Ryan Freeman has posted on his Instagram account. What I have called very positive and very encouraging comments about the game, addressing and in many cases, directly addressing specific comments, worries, fears, even that fans have had about this game, and we looked at that in our last update. Many of his responses, I think, are they're definitely saying all the right things at this point, and so if it all comes to light the way they are describing, I think it's all going to be a very exciting couple years ahead for gamers and just for all of us that want to experience Michael Myers and all things Halloween in the video game world, which I think pretty much all of us are excited for in one way or another. So if you didn't see that, check out our previous report for all of those comments. Now, since then, like I said, quite a bit has come out, including a lot of comments from one of the main developers of the game, and that's where we're going to start here this evening with this interview that is from Game Informer, and this interview is with Ilphonic's lead developer. He is the studio's chief creative officer, Jared Gerritsen, and lots of very cool info embedded within this interview. One of the most notable aspects of this interview is we now know a little bit more about Dr. Loomis's pivotal role in the game. So we're going to begin with that. Now, you'll recall that announcement trailer. It featured Loomis narration in it. And maybe not the greatest Loomis imitator. I think I think it was Tom Kane that did it for Halloween Kills. I thought he did a great job with the Loomis voice there. But in any case, apparently Loomis has a very pivotal role in the game. He is actually the narrator for the game. And so knowing that going into this, that Loomis is our narrator, not just like in the trailer, but literally like the way we saw in the trailer, that's the way a lot of the game will be. Um, I think that's a really cool idea. And I think it opens up a cool way to set up all these different, because we know the game is going to take place primarily, at least in the beginning, all in the world of 78 or maybe even 63. We'll get to that in a minute. But um, with all of everything we know about 78, but then they're going to take us in all these places that we know about but we've never been, like inside the Rabbit in Red, inside Smith's Grove, and we know all of that. So part of that will be, I think, through Loomis, through his narration. Maybe he's even, reading some of his notes from his years treating Michael or something like that. And this amazing rendering of Loomis for the game, just astounding and stunning. Now we just need the voice actor to match that. But so I think that's a really cool development and a great way to not lose, but a great way to use the Dr. Loomis character. Now I'm gonna pull up another new photo here as we're talking. We'll be taking a look at some of the images that have been released since our last report too. Now, we've also seen in a recent interview more about Michael's abilities, including a what might be described as a supernatural ability to appear and disappear, literally. And if you think back to the original film and many of the others, but especially in 78, Michael does that. I mean, he's not there when Laurie's looking out the window, and then she doesn't even blink, and then he is there, and then he's not. And this happens throughout the film. So game developers at IllFonic have said that Michael in this game can appear out of nowhere. He has the ability to show up out of nowhere. And this is very interesting to me because, again, this is a video game doing something that watching Michael on screen, be it in a film or even in a TV show, we can't do. We can't experience being the Shape any more than we can experience being Loomis. But in this game, we're going to get that. They also say, speaking of playing as Michael and becoming the perfect Shape, it's also stated in this interview. Let's go back over here real quick. In this interview, it's stated that the single player campaign is actually designed to help you learn how to be the best Michael Myers for when you're in the game's multiplayer mode. And that's a direct statement from Garrettson there to Game Informer. So it's not just a play either, start however you want. It's IllFonic is literally designing this, that they want you to begin in the single player campaign and go through that first. And in doing so, they're saying we're going to learn how to play as Michael the Best, including this kind of teleporting. It sounds like they're describing a little bit, but it's spookier than that. It's creepier than that, because it's the Shape. Now, here's an interesting quote in that article that might just be a typo, but it says, again, this is Garrettson talking from IllFonic. This is IllFonic's biggest game ever, and it features 1v4 asymmetrical multiplayer, typical for that developer, but also that single player campaign that we're talking about that will put you in the iconic boots of Michael on the night of Halloween in 1963. Now, again, I highlighted this and I bring it to your attention because that's what it says in this article. My guess is that might be a typo, and they meant to say 1978, or not. Maybe we are going to get to play as Michael in 63 as well. Of course, he wouldn't be wearing his boots that they mentioned in that same quote at that time. So again, I don't know what to make of that particular bit of this in any case. Um, Now, there's also been quite a bit of talk about when exactly the game is going to be released. Because all we got last year was that it was happening. And then this year, so far in 2025, we got that it's going to be released in 2026. And some of you, some of you in our comments on social media have asked when in 2026, like January, February, and I've speculated, just not knowing that it's probably going to be around Halloween time. I'm guessing. Well, again, we have a we've closed that window a tiny bit, a tiny bit. It is going to be late next year. That's a quote from Elphonic. Quote, late next year. Now, late next year could be really late next year. I think, in all honesty, look for it around this time next year, around like late September, early October, in time for next Halloween. I think it makes all the sense in the world. If they don't make the Halloween release for 2026, I mean, I guess there's a Christmas time release, and I mean it's going to sell whenever it releases. But I mean, come on, it's Halloween, and that would be late enough next year, I think. But again, that's pure speculation on when, but late next year is the actual quote from Ilphonic. All right, so you tell me what you think that means, and also what you think about Loomis being the narrator, what you think about Michael having this supernatural ability to appear and disappear. It is the shape. He is more than a man, even though he is a man. He is more than that, and I say that because I asked John Carpenter himself when I interviewed him, is Michael one or the other? Is he? The answer is he's both, which means he's also neither and something else. So, read my full interview from 2016 if you haven't yet. Um, but that's not all the news out of Haddonfield regarding the Halloween video game. Now, as we've already talked about, the legendary Nick Castle is back as Michael Myers in this video game. He did put on the motion capture suit to perform certain movements as the shape for the game. And now we have some new imagery that has been officially released, behind the scenes imagery, and this is Nick Castle himself with a bloody knife performing motion capture, presumably stabbing somebody as Michael in this game, or maybe he's just posing for the picture while in between doing the motion capture. But Nick is back, but he's not alone. This week brought the reveal of who exactly is working alongside or has worked alongside Nick Castle to bring the shape back to life in the Halloween video game. And his name is TJ Storm. He's an actor and stuntman that has done a ton of work over the years. A lot of video game work and all kinds of cool projects you've heard of, stuff like The Last of Us Part 2. Lots of film work and stuff you've seen. Regular Halloween Daily News readers might recognize his name from a little film we covered a few years ago, a Disney family Halloween film actually called Under Wraps 2. He has a significant role in that among his other roles. But TJ Storm worked alongside Nick Castle to bring Michael Myers back to life, performing the motion capture for the Halloween video game. And this was officially posted by the video game team at Ilphonic just a few days ago. They posted a brief interview with Nick Castle talking about reprising his role as Michael Myers, and in that they revealed T.J. Storm as the actor and stuntman who worked alongside Nick and did a lot of the more strenuous motion capture work, we would imagine. Now, for Nick's part, He says in the interview, quote, "Well, it did make me go watch the movie again to see what the hell I did that contributes to the success of the character." Let me put Nick up here while we're reading that. He continues, quote, "The folks creating the game wanted the character to be as authentic as possible, and I did my best to capture the original movements. It was fun to do, and I had a great time with the team," end quote. Now, on the video game itself, Castle commented, quote, "With the team I met and the fact that John and Malik and all are on board, I have high hopes that the game will be something fans will enjoy." And then Nick adds, jokingly, quote, "and keep them busy until Halloween 14, end quote. He went on to call TJ Storm, quote, "a real sweetheart, very professional, and takes his job seriously." And we got some more behind the scenes photos released. Here is Nick on the set of the motion capture filming for the game. And I say filming, motion capturing, I guess. But that's TJ Storm there that he's talking to, and clearly paying attention to everything that the original Shape has to say. And here they are, another great shot of them. This is from HalloweenGame.com, released just a few days ago as we're recording this update. And there's Nick, of course, in that photo we've already looked at. Now, you can read that full interview at HalloweenGame.com. There's a couple more quotes from Nick over there. For his part, TJ Storm posted on Instagram about his excitement at getting to portray the Shape. He says, quote, "Halloween the game. It's hard to put into words how surreal this is. For as long as I can remember, the story of Michael Myers has been the gold standard of horror. Now I have the profound honor of announcing that I was the performance capture artist for The Shape in the new Halloween the game alongside the legendary Mr. Nick Castle. Bringing an iconic character like this to life on screen is one thing, but to do so for a video game where players will truly become Michael Myers is a whole other level of challenge and responsibility." He continues saying, quote, "That's why I'm eternally grateful to have the legendary Nick Castle as my mentor. The first and true Michael Myers. Getting to learn from him was an absolute masterclass. He wasn't just teaching me a walk or a head tilt. He was teaching me the quiet, unsettling presence that is the Shape. He taught me the subtle stillness and the deliberate movements that make Michael Myers a force of nature. It was an experience I'll never forget, and I hope I've done his legacy justice. We've poured everything we have into this game to make sure that his iconic movements feel as authentic and terrifying as they do in the films. I can't wait for you all to step into the mask and feel that raw, unyielding terror for yourselves. Thank you, Mr. Castle, for your time, your wisdom, and for creating a character that has inspired so many of us. And Ilphonic/Gun Interactive done it again. Pure awesome. Thank you." End quote. All of that from the newest Shape in Haddonfield. From the original to the newest. Here they are again. I mean, there was a lot of speculation about who was going to play Michael Myers in this game. There's a lot of rumors. We've talked about some of that here. And this is pretty significant news. This game is going to be huge. I mean, like I said, we might get a bigger story regarding this franchise this year, but I don't know that we will. This is probably the story of the year, and I do think we're going to be getting a lot more news regarding the game coming here in the month of October 2025. It just makes all the sense in the world. Maybe even some actual gameplay footage for the first time. So, but this game is going to be Michael Myers' biggest representation in media for the next couple of years, I think, until we get a TV show or a film project off the ground and in production, which, unless they're keeping it secret, this game is so much more far along than any of that. So, TJ Storm is going to be Michael Myers. You know, there was talk about, is Kane Hodder doing it? Because apparently he worked on this project too, we think, he said, and then deleted. That's not it. It's TJ Storm and Nick Castle. They're the ones that brought Michael to life doing the motion capture for Halloween, the video game. And so I'm going to be the first to welcome TJ Storm to the Halloween franchise, to Haddonfield, and to the Michael Myers legacy. I know we're all going to be excited to get to know him and learn more about him. And we're going to be digging into some of his past work and seeing what he's done in the past, I'm sure. Now, everything that he says in that announcement on his Instagram sounds just totally on point and exactly what I want to hear from the guy in this position. And I mean, the fact that he's saying that Nick worked with him on the essence of the character as much as the movements, if not more than the movements specifically, that sounds great. I remember when I interviewed James Jude Courtney right after they filmed Halloween 2018, and way before anybody else interviewed him about the film, and way before we saw any footage or anything from it. And the way he talked to me at that time, at that first interview, about how he approached the character, I knew that he was approaching it not better or worse, but in a way that was unlike any performer had ever approached that character before. And I knew it was going to be special. Hearing TJ on that post talk about working with Nick, you know, it makes me feel very excited that this could be something very cool. And that they are approaching it with respect. And I mean that from the top down. You know, obviously Carpenter's going to be involved. He's listed as involved, intimately involved, according to the announcement, and in the reveal trailer listed as executive producer. And I mean, come on, he's got to be doing the music for it, right? At least some new music and all the classic tracks, I would imagine. So super stoked for all of that. And just like Nick said, the fact that John and Malik Akkad are on board, and the team that Nick worked with, he thinks fans are going to be on board for it. Not that that's the only barometer, you know, but I mean, I think everything is lining up for what could be something really special and really cool, aside from it being massively anticipated and newsworthy, which obviously it is here, because like I said, this is going to be Halloween in popular media for you know, for better or for worse, for the foreseeable next few years, for what I can see. So now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Lots of updates to chew on, to think about. Loomis is the narrator. Michael can appear and disappear. We're going to be in the boots of Michael, in the suit behind the mask. Both of these guys working to honor the legacy and capture the essence of the original shape. Look, I wanted them to say something like James Jude Courtney or even Aaron Armstrong, because we've seen what they can do. But we haven't seen what TJ can do in this role. So I am not going to knock it. I am here for it. And again, just like with James Jude Courtney, we had no idea what we were in for, but man, did he deliver something epic and amazing. So again, not the same as in on film Michael Myers, but I do anticipate, like I said, we're recording this. It's September 22nd, and we're knocking on the door of October. I would be very surprised if we don't get some more big Halloween video game news coming in October. I think we're probably going to get our first gameplay footage in October. And I wouldn't be surprised if we find out a little bit more about who else has maybe performed some of the motion capture and or some of the voice performances. Because again, I've speculated in the past that they could have a lot of fun with a lot of our favorite franchise alums and former Haddonfield residents taking on roles, even cameo roles in some cases in this game. It could be really cool because a lot of them have worked on other games in similar genres. So I'd be very surprised if we don't get some very cool news about this video game very imminently here in the very near future. All right. So I think that's the full update on the video game. I might have missed a couple quotes in there from Garrettson, but there's so much already that they are putting out there that I am just really impressed that we're getting, all of these details and descriptions. And it does make me excited. And to hear these guys, I mean, you should read that full Game Informer interview. They are really trying to capture the essence of the '78 film. And when we talked about Ryan Freeman's comments, he commented at one point that he had no comment on if they would ever include sequel characters or elements of the sequels in the game. And we take that as not really a yes, but pretty much kind of a yes, unofficially. But that would clearly be down the road, based on this being the massive success that we all know it's going to be. And it being a success not just on launch, which I think it definitely will be, maybe record breaking on launch, but then can it sustain for a year or 2 years, 3, because that's a lot of people's fears that it won't. But time will tell, and lots of awesomeness to look forward to, and to be able to be the shape. I think that's really cool too. They've talked about some of the other characters. They call them heroes, and I'm wondering if that's going to be like our final girl type characters, our Lori type characters. It might not be exactly Lori. I don't know, but I could see it. Captain Sawyer, what's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Ilphonic's best game ever. I hope Annie, Linda, and Lori become DLC. I could definitely see that. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Yes, think it'll be released in the third quarter of next year. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think typically something like this would be like for a Christmas time and year release, but I think because it's Halloween, it only makes sense. You have it out for the entire month of October, not only so people are buying it, but people are playing it. It's just a massive just gathering spot. The way the Friday the 13th game was, frankly, when it was at its peak. Barf agrees this is going to be something special. I think so. I talked about it before. The fact that Carpenter himself is such a gamer to begin with, that's cool because I don't think he really wants to direct another movie or anything. I think he's happy doing the music and all that, but involved in a game and giving input there, I think he's all about that. I think that's going to be another element that helps it be extra, extra cool. So it's coming in 2026. Yes, one of you said Castle's eyes in that pic is so intense. Yes, let's go back to that. I'm gonna zoom it in just a little bit. Yeah, yeah, I love that picture of him. I mean, he was into it. I mean, I agree. I think it's gonna be awesome. Jason agrees it's gonna be awesome. Tim's wondering if James Jude Courtney will be involved in any way. I don't know. I'd love for him to be. I wish he would be, but again, I mean, I'm not gonna knock anybody's performance or anything before seeing it for sure. And it's a different medium too, you know. And I mean, in fairness, James Jude Courtney plays in amazing Michael Myers at you know age 61 or whatever he is in 2018. Um, whereas in the game, it is definitely the 78 version of Michael that they are going for. And what do you guys make of that quote? Am I right that that's just a typo when they said 63? Because they said that Michael's boots in 63, which also makes no sense. Um, but it also might be almost like an inadvertent slip and tease of something that maybe, you know, boots or not, you do get to flashback to 63 a little bit. I think that would be amazing. I mean, that'd be a cool DLC. Just that, you know, the whole 63 with Judith and her boyfriend and all of that. Clown Michael, you know. Got to be a typo, says Barf. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be. That's what I thought when I read it. Captain Sawyer says if the game gets beta, it's going to be insane, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre's tech test. Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, I mean, we don't cover a ton of video game news. I mean, we do when it's a genre title or something Halloween specific, obviously, or a Michael Myers appearance in a game over the years. But yeah, I think this is one of the, if not the biggest stories in video games in general for 2026, and certainly for horror genre video games. It's the top story. Like I said, maybe for all of video games for next year, but definitely for us horror geeks for sure. David says could go back to 63 in like a flashback or something. Yeah. Barf says would put a smile on my face to be around little Mikey Myers. Yes, definitely. Sawyer agrees we might be getting gameplay footage. Yeah, I think so in October. I mean, Ryan Freeman hinted that it's coming sooner than later. Our first look at gameplay footage. I think it only makes sense that it will come in October. I mean, they might even wait till right before October 31st itself, or even on October 31st. Um, I could see that. But I love even just these stills, these images we're getting um, released. Like here, let's take a look at a couple. As a matter of fact, I was gonna pull them up during the update earlier, but let's just look at them right now. Um, this is another great shot of the Myers house that I just love. And here we have this character over here on the left. I don't know if that's supposed to be Laurie Strode or just like a Laurie type character. I kind of think that's what we're looking at, but we don't know. But there's the Myers house. We've seen a little bit of it before in other stills, but just a really cool, creepy image. Here's another one. Here she is hiding. She's holding a baseball bat. Michael just stalking. Again, getting these back alleys and corners from the 78 film that we never really got to explore before. And this is a really cool shot. Michael spying on, and that does look like Laurie's house right there. So it does appear like he is spying on Laurie Strode right here. And that does look like her house right there on the corner. If you go down the sidewalk, there's her dad's Strode Realty car. I'm just realizing this right now as we're looking at this, that is Laurie's house. And there she is looking out the window, seeing the shape, seeing her. This is really cool. This is a great image right here. And again, I've said before, and I said for years, that it wasn't a matter of if, but a matter of when we were getting this game. And we all knew it was coming. And the fact that it took so long, I think is a good sign, honestly. I think Malik Akkad and Ryan Freeman and everybody in charge, Carpenter, they wanted to make damn sure that it was going to be the ultimate. And it seems like that's what they're gonna try to give us here. And here we have a character. I mean, this is not the same as that Laurie Strode type character. I don't know who she's supposed to be, but again, I just really like this image. It's a classic image of the shape and shadow behind her. But yeah, this one of him staring at Laurie. I mean, it's got to be Laurie in there. And when we zoom in, I mean, it does look like the character we've seen in some of these other stills. So that does seem to suggest that Laurie Strode will be a character in the film. Because I've speculated that even though it is the 78 film, they might change some things. I don't know if they've got Jamie Lee Curtis's rights and likenesses. I don't know how any of that works. But for all we know, she's involved too. She's a producer too. She's doing voice work too, for all we know. Who knows? What if they went back to more of the original cast to do stuff like they did with Nick? Think about that. That'd be insane. Jason says, looking forward to the story mode. See where they'll take it. Again, I really like the idea that we'll be able to explore places in Haddonfield throughout the 78 era that, again, we know exist. We've seen, like they've teased Smith's Grove. They showed the outside of it, and it's huge. And so there's so much they could do on the inside of it. And we never got to see that in, John Carpenter's version, of course. So I think a lot of stuff like that could be, really exciting and fun for us as just those of us that have seen the movie 176 times and, know it backwards and forwards. To be able to find experience it from a different POV, I think is going to be amazing. Barf is predicting next year it'll come out on October 27th, the movie release date. bold prediction, sir, but I could totally see that. And maybe that's what they do this October is when they drop that game footage, maybe they go so far as to drop an actual release date. I think they're going to keep it more vague and just call it 2026 for now, or maybe just Halloween 2026 and keep that maybe the exact date, but Halloween season. I don't know, but I, gameplay footage I think is definitely on the horizon imminently, and more of those stills. More of that. I think we're gonna find out more. Um, Honestly, I think they put out the Nick Castle reveal, and then just this past week put out this TJ Storm reveal, which admittedly on their end, was kind of, he's not in the headline. He's in our headline at Halloween Daily News because that's a huge part of this story as far as I'm concerned, and I think you guys would agree. But you know, there's the term burying the headline. They kind of buried a little bit of that headline in their story, but I do think that both of those reveals came up kind of in response to all the King and Hodder uh, rumors and talk and all, and so now it still leaves like who else is involved in this game. And speaking of Dr. Loomis, who I was thinking the other day, and it's been suggested before, would be an amazing Dr. Loomis, not to do a Donald Pleasance imitation, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe when they do the Pleasance imitation, because nobody can truly nail it. So maybe it's never going to sound right. Maybe the answer is to get somebody equally or almost that same level of iconicness, but to do it their way. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't ask Jack Nicholson to play Loomis like Donald Pleasance did. If it's Jack Nicholson, you'd say you play it how Jack Nicholson would play it, or Christopher Lee, who John Carpenter wanted originally. Something like that, I would think. Anyway, Robert Englund. And he's played the Loomis character in The Rise of Leslie Vernon. If you guys haven't seen that one, you should definitely watch it. It's amazing. One of my all-time favorite slashers. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And Robert Englund does play basically the Dr. Loomis character of that film. And he plays it brilliantly, and he's perfect in it. And that reminded me recently that he would be an amazing Loomis. Not just in a film, but even as the voice in this game. He wouldn't try to do it as Donald Pleasance. He'd pay some homage, I think. He'd take that Donald Pleasance performance, but let Robert Englund spin it how he wants. And then maybe that's the answer. Maybe anybody trying to do Donald Pleasance, we're all going to be comparing it too much, and it's just never going to fit. And the answer is don't ask somebody to do that. Get somebody equally iconic and say, do it your way. I don't know. I still think of Gary Oldman as Loomis too when we talked about Halloween Returns a few weeks ago, and how Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton in their script at the end of Halloween Returns, they have a Loomis cameo, and they describe him as being played in their minds and their dream perfect casting scenario as Gary Oldman, which 10 years ago would have been amazing, and today would be even more amazing because he's even aged into the role even better, and of course talent-wise. So, again, shooting for the stars, if not somebody like Robert Englund in a genre voice like that, why not? Why not Gary Oldman as Loomis? Anyway, just some thoughts and ideas and a little bit of my own excitement for all this. David says a lot of details and storyline could be done. Yes. I think there's so much more that to be revealed that's going to excite us fans. And again, the fact that they've released this Nick Castle thing, I think really, but then also very soon after that, kind of putting this TJ Storm reveal out there as well. I think it all makes sense. They're letting us know, all right, we are honoring the legacy, we're paying attention, we're doing what you want, but we're also acknowledging that this is something new too, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm stoked for all that. Jason likes the idea of Robert Englund playing Loomis. Again, I thought about it ever since I saw him and Leslie Vernon years ago when that came out, like 15 years ago or whatever. And but I hadn't thought about it for a while. But man, even again, like Gary Oldman, like the older he gets, the more he even ages into the role of Loomis even more perfectly in my mind. Kind of the same with Robert Englund. I mean, he's like, I mean, he would honor it too. You know what I mean? He's such a student of the craft of acting, you know, that he would honor it without trying to imitate it. I guess is what I'm saying. He'd honor it without trying to imitate it, and in doing so, might give us the greatest imitation, or I don't know, the greatest Loomis since Donald Pleasance, you know. And I'm not Malcolm. I'm not knocking Malcolm McDowell's performance at all. He's an amazing actor. He did great, and whether you like the creative decisions they took with that character or not in those films, you can't knock his performance. But anyway, lots of cool stuff. You know, Scout Taylor Compton. You know, she is in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. So is Christina. Christina Cleave was in the Friday the 13th game. There's a lot of cool possibilities of what could be done in here, both in cameo capacity and unofficial, like this is like a Easter egg for the fans type ways, and in official ways. Who knows? So lots of cool stuff. All right, before we get out of here, we're gonna do a couple shout outs real quick. Some social media Triple M shout outs, and here's a new one from good old Facebook. This is a good Michael Myers Monday meme right here. I hadn't seen this one before. I'm gonna have to save this one. I love how people take Michael Myers Monday and just make it mean whatever they mean, whether it's Monday is Michael killing your weekend, killing your vibes, or your Michael taking on the week like a killer. All right, jumping over to Threads. This is pushed by Hal Gates. Fall is here, and Michael Myers can't get enough of the autumn season already. How will you be celebrating fall and Halloween? And there you go. Happy first day of fall. Doing it right. Got his Halloween pumpkin, his Sam mug. I own that mug. Cool Halloween blanket, vintage style. Dig it. Michael looking good. Great looking mask there. Another one from Threads here today. This was posted by Your Guts and Gloss. Happy Michael Myers Monday and first day of fall. And got her Michael Myers collectible plush right there. And looks like maybe a Michael Myers shirt as well. Jumping over to Instagram. This is posted by _shape86. Again, celebrating today's first day of autumn. Also on the gram today, posted by the great Tyler Main. Actually, this one was posted last week, but we didn't do a live broadcast. So shout out to Tyler for sharing this. He says, Michael Myers Monday, shout out to the one who made me work. People usually ask me who was my favorite chase in the series, but let me tell you who was the hardest. Not only did it take me 2 films to get her, but this kid made me work it both times. She's so quick they had to do slow motion on the chase scene in H2, and she barely waited for action, so she damn near slipped away every time. So glad the amazing Daniel Harris is among the people I've stayed close with over the years. Love you, kiddo. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everyone. October is so close. End quote. Great post by Tyler Main, celebrating his work with the equally legendary Daniel Harris. All right, and one more for today from the gram, posted by the iconic, legendary, our friend James Jude Courtney. He actually posted this 1 week ago on Michael Myers Monday using the hashtag and everything, tagging his buddy Christopher Nelson as we watch this amazing time-lapse video of the makeup and prosthetics being applied for Halloween Ends. James even comments that on this day, Christopher was playing David Bowie's final album, Black Star, for the showdown between Laurie and Michael. Pretty perfect in my opinion, he says. This is just amazing work to see. And so much that we didn't get to properly see in the film. So it's great that it's documented so well here, because Christopher's work is just amazing, and it always is. All right. Here we go. All right, and that, my friends, is your Michael Myers Monday Live for the first day of fall, the autumn equinox that is September 22nd, 2025. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. As always, thank you so much for hanging out and joining me. If you're still watching this and you're not a subscriber for some reason, then definitely do that. Think about becoming a channel member, $5 a month. Shop our merch store, shop our online store, Triple M15 for 15% off. Come to our Halloween Film Festival. It's going to be a kick-ass indie horror Halloween celebration unlike any other here on the Outer Banks. Lots of cool, exciting stuff coming your way at HalloweenDailyNews.com and right here on the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel specifically. Got some very cool interviews coming. Now, quick programming note, next Monday, I don't know. I'm not going to say that we're going to be on or off right now. We'll see what kind of news drops. We get some big gameplay news or something. We'll definitely be here. But it is going to be just a few days as we're going to be in the final countdown of our film festival. So there's a good chance I might just have to be in full focus for that next Monday. But after that, it's October. And I do plan to be here every Monday in October for Michael Myers Monday Live. And whether we got breaking news to talk about or just fun October discussions, I got you covered. And who knows, maybe a new interview with a Haddonfield resident or two, maybe a special guest. Who knows? Who knows what we got coming? It's all going to be exciting. It's all going to be a surprise. It's all going to be a killer time, because that's what we do here. So thank you all for being here. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Celebrate the festival of Samhain. It begins. Yes, yes, yes. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Happy fall. Happy autumn. And take care of each other. As always, I cannot thank you enough for hanging out with us this evening. You guys rock. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching. And happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.